94. So, hope you've all been having a good week. Well, we're having to get used to wearing masks and taking them everywhere again. Now we're in New Zealand and red at the minute, so yeah.
Yeah, we've been pretty good, haven't we? We haven't really had to be wearing masks for a long time.
No, actually, I didn't tell you. I got back from the supermarket this morning, and well, actually at the supermarket, I was told off.
Well, for not wearing your mask.
Yeah.
Oh, that wouldn't be the first time that's happened, would it?
Well, no.
You're right, though. It is hard to remember them if you're sort of not in that zone.
Yeah, but you don't need to be rude about it.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, they're only trying to protect people, I guess. But,
I know. Well, I just forgotten. I didn't do it deliberately.
No.
And I'm walking in the supermarket, and this woman just snaps at me. I'm like, well, she could have just asked me nicely. Honestly, I just literally was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And she was just like, rolled her eyes.
Well, I guess, maybe the lesson from that is to remember to take your mask. Do you think?
Yes, but I had taken my mask. I just forgotten to put it on, which I'm sure, come on, you with me, aren't you? I mean, everyone forgets.
Yeah, that's true. It is one of those things, isn't it?
Spoken to you like that.
No. I think everyone's just a bit on edge about that whole mask wearing thing, and you got to remember these people. They're employed and they have to enforce this mask wearing. It's hard,
but they've got to remember at the same time people are just getting used to it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Being friendly goes a long way, eh?
That's right. Yeah. So hopefully at some stage we'll get away from having to wear masks and we can all go back to the old days.
Oh, the good old days.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, we hope you guys are finding it easier to deal with the whole mask wearing than we are.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Let's crack on.
Yeah, we'll get stuck into today's episode. So we wanted to start today on right at the beginning and touching base on how to start your business and who should start a business online. So
we're going to give an overview, aren't we, of what the plan is for the month. Yeah. So the way we're running our podcasts this year is we're going to have 4 themes throughout the month, one a week, and we're going to keep going back to those themes over the months. So my topics are going to be fitness, diet, mindset, and a work-life balance, which is so important. Really making sure you do get out and you have a good social life as well.
Yeah, so with the topics I'll be talking about, I'll be breaking down each of the stages of starting an online business each month into 4 different areas of that particular stage in the journey. And so that's sort of going to dovetail nicely with our website and also with what Emily's talking about. There'll be some focus around those particular stages and how you can deal with that and your health and your fitness and your mental well-being.
Yeah.
So with this first episode, I wanted to touch on the first things you need to ask yourself if you're looking at starting an online business, and that is, are you the right person to be doing this? Because it doesn't suit some people.
Yeah, and I'm going to be kind of bumping in there with a little bit about your mindset, because that is the real key to success, is actually having good self-esteem and being able to good self-esteem and having the right attitude.
Exactly, yeah. So let's kick into it. So touching base firstly on who should start a business. One of the key things is it's really looking at yourself, and doing actually a real critical assessment of yourself, a real honest assessment. So for example, if you're looking for freedom from working, say, the 9 to 5 and working for someone else, I mean, that's a prime example of who should start an online business. You can get out of that sort of rat race and create your own freedom.
Yeah.
And
you've got to have confidence to do that.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, we're not saying any of these steps aren't small. They're all big steps to do. So, I guess another one is you need to want to have that flexible time and flexibility about location. If you want to work somewhere else, if you want to work overseas or work while traveling around the world, I mean, that's a prime example of someone who's fit for that online business model.
Yeah, so that it's vital to have the right mindset to be actually, really key to what you're doing. You've got to be able to believe in yourself and know that you can do it and be positive in your mindset and have that growth mindset, really, in terms of being adaptable and changeable to the situation.
Yeah. So I suppose another one is sort of, if you've got a passion or an idea, you've got a product idea that you want to do. I mean, that's one reason why a lot of people start out on an online business is because they've come up with this idea, and the only way for them to actually see it through is to physically go and do it themselves. So that's another example of someone who just, is probably right to venture into the online world.
Yeah.
Again, happy to take risks. Someone who is willing to take risks. Going out on your own is hard. It's risky. So if you're risk averse, maybe it's not the right thing for you. You need to be financially stable as well, financially able to do it, because everyone says, you can start an online business for a few $100s and, end up creating this massive business that's bringing in tens of $1,000s a month. That's very, very rare. So you need to be able to support yourself financially. And that could be over a year. You might not earn any money off your business for a year. And so you need to be able to support your wages and, your cost of living over that time.
It's just being aware of that and not being too, sort of heartbroken if your business doesn't take off in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I suppose that's the patience thing, isn't it?
That resilience.
Being patient and resilient, and you need to be, I guess, prepared to fail, because if you throw all your life savings at this one thing and you think it's going to be a success and it isn't, then you're going to be left at the end broke with a failed business.
Yeah, but there you go. There's your mindset again. If that actually happens to you, it's how do you pick yourself up and carry on?
Yeah.
And that's so important. And actually using, if that ever does happen, hopefully not, using it as a learning curve. Sometimes failure can actually lead to real success, because you know what doesn't work.
Yeah.
You find out what, harsh way, but you find out what doesn't work and what hasn't worked. And that resilience and that comeback from that shows real character and real strength as well. So, there's ups and downs. I mean, that's life that's life and business, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same as normal life.
It's how you deal with it and how you pick yourself up and you carry on.
Absolutely, yeah, that's key, because you can learn all those lessons and make a better job of it next time.
Yeah.
So I guess, if you're all of those things, maybe you are well suited to starting an online business.
Yeah.
Let's touch on the ones that sort of mean that you're not possibly suited to an online business. And obviously, they're kind of the opposites of what we've just talked about. So someone who likes the security of working for someone, they like the 9 to 5. They don't like that instability of hours, and they don't want that they don't want that flexibility of hours. They like working 9 to 5. Someone who's like that is probably not well suited to going out on their own. So again, ask yourself these questions. How much do you like that security of your own job? That's definitely a mindset thing.
Yeah.
Are you flexible enough to go out beyond that, or are you dead set on sticking with that particular way of living?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It's a big decision to make. I was a teacher, full-time secondary school teacher in the UK, and having that security for me when I was a single woman working, that was a real big thing for me.
Yeah. And
it was a really big thing when I left my job to come out to New Zealand to be with this Kiwi. And actually, it's because I do think I have a positive mindset, and I've not gone straight back into a full-time job, but I've taken that opportunity to do my own art, go into business with Blair as well, and doing a lot of other things. And no, I wouldn't have done it otherwise. It's not something I would have just made the decision to do. I was kind of thrown in that that situation with COVID and everything, having to move out here quickly and things, that I adapted and I changed. And I've actually thought, well, why have I not been doing this for years? So,
and that was a massive move for you. Like that, you know, you can't underestimate that changeover from working 9 to 5 to taking that big leap. I mean, obviously you took a massive leap in that you moved halfway across the world to be with someone. You know, and but you also did that massive job change as well. So, you know, that's it took a bit of thinking about, didn't it?
You know, huge change in my life completely, and it takes time to adapt.
Yeah. So it's really important to ask those questions of yourself and be really honest with the answers. So you're not just doing it, you know, you just didn't do it because you know, because you wanted to move over here. You did it because you saw an opportunity to become free from work as well. You know, you didn't want to continue doing that same role, and you're not once you moved out here, you're not doing the same job.
Yeah, it was very situational, and what I could do and what I could afford to do that then through savings and things that I have been doing over the years, and
again, it comes back to that financial thing. You had some savings, so it allowed you that door.
There were a lot of things that all kind of worked out, that enabled us to do this.
Yeah, so I suppose that's probably bringing me on to my next point. You know, if you're not, if you're not financially able to do it, then that's a pretty big thing to consider. You don't want to jump into something that you can't afford to do. And so that's if you're unwilling to take that risk, or even if you're just disorganized and lazy. I mean, maybe that's just who you are, and you prefer working for somebody, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it just means that you may not be suited for this business model. And I think the final thing I'd touch on is, this get rich quick sort of thing about online. A lot of online stuff isn't get rich quick. In fact, there's very, very few opportunities online that are get rich quick. So forget all the stuff you see online about all that side of it. Most of it's not true. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of persistence, resilience, as you were saying, and you've just got to be completely committed to it. I guess the thing with what we're talking about is that there aren't any hard and fast rules. Like we've just touched on a few things back and forth here about who's possibly good and who's possibly not suited to, starting online or going out on their own. For example, the financial thing, you can go and loan money from someone to get your business started.
Yeah.
So there's ways to, I guess, tweak that situation. If you don't have the money yourself, if you're willing to take the risk but you can't afford it financially, you could go and take a loan. Obviously, there's risks with taking loans out. If you're not organised, you can use software. You can use software to keep you organised. Outlook and calendars and.
I think it's knowing who you are, isn't it, and what you need.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what I would suggest you do, is do a character and situation assessment. Okay? Sounds very technical, but it's not. Sit down with a pen and paper, write down the type of person that you are. Are you introverted? Are you extroverted? Do you need to be around people? Are you organised? Are you systemised? How risk averse are you? All of that stuff. And that'll give you a picture of where you are as a person in terms of being suited or not suited to taking the jump into this online space. And I guess the situation assessment is around your life. How financially stable are you? Do you have dependents? Like if we had, if we had children, which we don't, if we had children in an expensive school, that might change our risk profile. We might not take as much risk as we are now.
When you've got kids, you've got people that are relying on your income.
Yeah.
The less risky, the better, probably.
Yeah, exactly. But so that's that situation.
Look, we're a way to, you'll make your own decisions and your own thoughts, but
it's about
it's just
it's about advice. But you need to assess it. You need to sit down and work that out, because a lot of people just ignore all that stuff. They think, oh, this is a cool opportunity, I'll go and do that. And then they realise halfway down the track, 6 months later, they've lost all their money, they're not suited to online, and they're just, without a job. So it's important to do that planning for yourself. Is what, we talk about business plans a bit. It's the same personal plans. You need to make sure you're the right fit. So I guess that's the first step in the process that we've talked about today. If you do this and you're a yes to the online thing, then all good stuff. So the next step, which we're going to talk about in the next episode, is what type of online business you should start or you could start. So to give you some options around that. So yeah, hopefully you've sort of found this useful today as a personal thing to really look at yourself to begin with. So take those steps in the next week or so, and we look forward to talking to you guys in the next episode. Remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button on the bottom there so you can keep in touch with us, and we'll let you know when our next episodes and videos come up. And we hope you have a good week. We managed to keep the signage up on the wall this week, which is awesome. So we are making small steps forward. And we'll see you in the next one.